Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 190. My name is Rob Hoback. Today is Thursday, April the 25th. Happy that you're here, honored if you came back, and humbled if you told a friend. For reals, appreciate it. So let's get to work. Before I get to my first things first and my thank yous, 190 reminds me of I-90, right? And so we'll talk a little bit about that. And then my question is, how do you turn this thing off? And that'll make sense here in a minute. So, but I-90, like I-90, the Interstate 90 that goes from Boston to Seattle, right? That stretch from about Rockford, well, let's go all the way over to the Quad Cities, right? So from the Quad Cities to, I don't know, Interstate 65, where you head south to go to Indianapolis, I've spent a considerable amount of my time on that stretch. And then if you compress it down and say, okay, Highway 47 to Interstate 53 in Chicago, I spent literally a ton of time on there and got a lot of friends. People that are going to watch this today spend a considerable amount of time on that same stretch of road. So, and I just felt compelled to tell you a funny story about my lack of perspective as a young man. So, when the first time I went to Boston and the first time I went to Seattle, and I'm not sure which one happened first, I think I went to Seattle first and then to Boston, was driving around or riding around when I came to the realization, like, holy shit, this is the same I-90 that I ride on all the time. It's just a few thousand miles in that direction or that direction. So I don't think I've told too many people that because it's alarming with my lack of perspective or understanding of the interstate system, especially as a guy who makes his money in the logistics world. But just, I don't know, just kind of cracked me up a little bit and just is another insight to how insulated my mind has been for the vast majority of my life. So anyway, first things first, sorry about that. I'm still the realist. I am also hooked. What am I talking about? I am hooked on a book. And, I have not been a regular reader lately. And I don't really know why. I just haven't. But here's the book. The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, right? And I'm not going to say that word right there. My FR was watching, right? But I can tell you that in the first chapter, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a good book. Because I often find myself emotionally invested or caring about things that I really shouldn't. It's just a waste of my time and energy to worry about those things. So I'm looking forward to that. The other thing that's interesting to me is that this specific book was referred to me by two people who both spend a considerable amount of their time on I-90. One of them still does. And they're both extremely wealthy. And I would think that they were people who didn't give an F about anybody other than themselves before they told me this. Very selfish people. So just very, very interesting to me about how that was sent to me. So, which goes back to my question, how do you turn this thing off? Like, I need to know where that switch is on me that I'm like, hey, you shouldn't care about that. Boom, just shut it off and move on. Because I get hung up on things that I shouldn't. Again, let's just be honest. Most of the people that are watching this know me well and know that I get stuck on things and that I pass that attribute on to my children. So as I learn how to do this, I'm going to teach them how to do the same thing. So we're going to be a bunch of people who really don't give an F about the things that don't matter to us anymore, right? We're going to think about it, and if it doesn't, we're just going to let it go. Like, see you later. Bye-bye. Speaking of which, I got to go. I got 2 kids in the bathtub, so I'm on daddy duty. Hands up. Peace out. We are better together. Appreciate you showing up. Look forward to telling you about all the things that I don't give an F about anymore because I can't do it. I can't. There's just too much going on up here, and a lot of these things I just really shouldn't be worried about. So I'm just going to stop doing it. All right. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya. Bye.